Good morning, everybody. Lucky, say good morning. Lucky likes to solve log equations as well. Runs in the family, I guess. So, anyway, happy Wednesday, guys. We understand this is tough material, especially to be learning from home online. So we applaud you and all your efforts. All right, hang in there. Hopefully this video helps to clarify some log equations for you guys. We'll see if Lucky is helping more or getting in the way, but should be good. All right, so I got a lot of questions. You guys were posting on Classroom. That was good. All right, so I'm going to try to go through as many as I can here. If the video gets too long, I mean, the good thing is if you feel like you already got it, then you can just fast forward through this a little bit or just skip to a problem maybe that you were struggling with. But I'm just going to start with the real basic one here, number 1, all right? So if you were able to watch that Khan Academy video, he does a nice job explaining why we're able to do this, all right? And also he did a quick review of some of the properties as well. Okay, the log properties from last week. So we didn't need to use any of those in this worksheet, all right? But sometimes you have to use those condensing or expanding properties first when you're solving. But these are the common log. Remember, when you just don't see a base, we know that's base 10, all right? And all we have to do is set the argument, as we call it, all right? In this case, 5x equal to 2x plus 9. So when we have the same base, we're just setting the arguments equal and solving it. All right, you're like, why couldn't you have just said that yesterday? Well, the productive struggle is a good thing, okay? So if we're writing 5x equals 2x plus 9, all right, well, now we're back to Algebra 1, the beginning of this year, reviewing equations, right? So I thought this would be fun and a bit refreshing for some of us. All right, so subtract 2x on both sides. That gets you 3x equals 9. Final step, divide by 3 on both sides, and x equals 3. All right, now it is important, like we would do when we're solving equations, to plug that back into the original, make sure it works out. All right, sometimes it doesn't, and in that case, we have extraneous solutions, if you remember that big math term. All right, so we plug x equals 3 back in here. You can do a quick mental math check. 5 times 3 is 15, so log of 15 equals 2 times 3 is 6, plus 9 is 15, log of 15, so we are good. Or you can just check that answer key. All right, that's why we attach that. Okay, boom, x equals 3. We're good. All right, let's see what's next on the agenda. We have number 4 circled. All right, similar one. And same with number 2. You have common log. You just set those equal, and the 10s will cancel out. All right, you'll end up getting x equals 0 for that one. Number 3, similar scenario. You get a fraction, but have no fear. All right, you can handle those fractions. And now we get to number 4, which was another question. All right, so once again, I see it's 2 common logs set equal to one another. We can set the arguments equal. All right, so once you realize that step, it's really just reviewing your equation skills, solving equations. All right, so that's why I'm saying, guys, if you're just posting answers, I mean, that's one thing, but you got to show some steps. If you're doing it on scrap paper, that's fine. Just try to attach a picture of your scrap paper, all right? Because it's very difficult to do this entire process all in one step, especially if you're just doing it in your head. All right, so write some work out when you attach those pictures for us. So let's see, I subtracted 2k here, I brought that to the left, I added 5 to the right, okay, and we get 2k equals 4, divide by 2, final step, k equals 2. All right, do a quick mental math check, plug it back in. 4 times 2 is 8, 8 minus 5 is 3, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, yay. All right, so that's really the first 5. All right, you would do the same thing on number 5 there. And it's also number 11 and 12. So if we want to jump down to those while we're at it, 11 and 12 are the same sort of process. All right, they're just a little bit different because we have to recall factoring skills. All right, let me see if I can get this set here. Bear with me. All right, so yeah, we see log base 12 for both of these, but as long as it's the same, we can still set this part equal to this part. Okay, so I'm going to set v squared plus 35 equal to negative 12v minus 1. All right, now in this case we have a quadratic, so we are reviewing factoring, but we need to move everything to one side first. All right, so let's add the 12v over to the left. There's nothing over there to combine it with, so we're just going to put that in the middle. Also going to add 1 to 35, and look at what we get. All right, we're going to get v squared plus 30, oh, let me get a 12 in here. Let's make that a 12, plus 12v plus 36 equals 0. All right, now we're in business. Now we think, okay, what multiplies to 36 and adds to 12? Well, that's going to be 6 and 6, right? So this is actually a perfect square trinomial, so we can factor this with v plus 6 and v plus 6. And now we would just set those equal to 0 and solve. So really it's just v plus 6 equals 0, subtract 6. You only get one answer here. You could get two answers sometimes depending on how it factors, but in this case just v equals negative 6. You plug that back in and you should get log base 12 of 36 plus 35, all right, which is going to give you 71. All right, and then negative 12 times negative 6 is 72, minus 1 is 71. We're good. All right, so always do that quick check. And number 12 is similar as well, okay? I'll leave this one as a challenge for you guys to try to factor, okay? See if you can do that one on your own. Same setup, move everything to one side and then factor and solve. All right, hint, you're looking for 2 solutions on this one. Okay, 2 solutions, and they both work. Just a heads up there. There are no extraneous solutions on this worksheet, but we might see some in the future. All right, so that's all the solving ones in terms of setting them equal and just using your algebra skills. All right. Now, once we get to 6 through 10, these are where we maybe ran into some issues. So let's look at number 6 here first. All right. This negative 2r right here, this is the argument as we call it. That's attached to this log base 7. All right. This whole thing is one term right now. So what we have to do is just first of all, get this 2 out of here. We don't need that 2. So divide both sides by 2. It's not going to change anything, right? 0 divided by 2 is still 2. So log base 7 of negative 2r equals 0. This is the key step, all right? So if you want, just fast forward to 8 minutes and 42 seconds into the video, all right? And this is the key step that you're going to use in 6 through 10, all right? You need to change this to exponential form. So we're going back to the first week of logs, all right, where we were changing from logarithmic to exponential form. Remember, we take the base here, so this smaller number, the base 7, raise it to whatever's on the other side. These two numbers swap, if you remember that. All right, so 7 to the 0th power equals negative 2r. That's the key. If you can do that, you can solve 6 through 10, no problem. All right, now you just got to remember 7 to the 0 power. What is that? Well, anything to the 0 power is 1. So 1 equals negative 2r. And now you have a one-step equation. Divide by negative 2. So r equals negative 1/2. All right, so if you're looking at the answer key, like how the heck did they get negative 1/2? Well, that's how, all right? So I'm not sure if you guys can use PhotoMath. They might show you those steps as well, but hopefully this video is helping. All right, so feel free to, like I said, rewind it, fast forward if you already know the first few, all right? but certainly use this to help you study, all right? Let's see, we got a couple more questions here. 7 is similar. Like I said, 6 through 10 are all pretty similar. This one, you just add 10 to both sides, cancel those out, and do the same thing from there. This one, we're going to divide first again. I'll leave this one as another challenge for you guys. I believe I posted the solution somewhere to this one. Divide by -2. All right, I'll get you started on this one. So this is going to give you log base 5 of 7x equals -1. So the toughest part here, once you convert it to exponential form, 5 to the negative first power equals 7x. All right, well, we have to remember, what does a -1 exponent mean? Well, it means it's really flipping that number, making it the reciprocal. So instead of 5 over 1, okay, that's going to change to 1 over 5. So 1/5 equals 7x. I think you can do the last step there. All right, you can either divide by 7 or multiply by 1 over 7. It's the same thing, all right, and you'll end up with that fractional answer. And let's end with number 9. All right, so this is one I wanted to highlight for you guys because we don't see a base again. All right, so that means it must be a common log, base 10. So we're going to start by subtracting 2, get rid of that. It's important to identify, do we have an addition in the first step? Do we have a subtraction? Do we have a division maybe? All right, so you just have to identify, what is my first step here when solving these logs, all right? So once we subtract 2, we get log of -m equals 2. So now if we recognize, well, it's a common log base 10, I'm going to take 10, raise it to the second power, so 10 squared equals -m. All right, so that's going to be 10 to the second power, that's 100, equals -m. Last step, divide by -1. If the light bulb is going off here now, like, oh man, this is actually pretty easy, good. That's the objective here, that's the goal of this video. All right, so m equals -100. That's how all these answers are, you know, that's why if you've been checking the answer key on the back, oh, wow, that's where -100 comes from. It definitely helps to have some steps that go along with it. That's why I recommend Photomath or YouTube in some of these. There's a lot of videos. I don't want to overload the classroom page, but there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. All right, so feel free to do some research on your own. Hope this video helped. Number 10 here, that one I think you can do. Just do that division in the first step by -6 on both sides. That'll get you 4 over here, +4, and then you're going to go 3 to the 4th power. So you can do that in your head or use a calculator and then add 3, you'll be at your final answer. All right, so remember, try this challenge one down here. All right, guys, hope that helped. Once again, thanks for the cameo appearance by Lucky. He's always a good helper with the math and the logs. All right, hope you guys have a great day. Be on the lookout for some more practice problems and a Zoom meeting coming up next week for a live review session, as live as it gets, all right? So virtual goodbye for now, all right? Hope to see you guys soon. Take care.